Hi, welcome back. The video in the background is mine, the audio is mine. It's just the most relaxing, mind relaxing. It's a whole hour. It's called Let Your Mind Slow Down. It's on my page. So it's gonna be on the background while we record this episode. It's so relaxing, I promise. How have you guys been since the last episode? I hope you guys are okay. If this is your first time here, hello. This is my. What is something that is making you smile these days? This cup is making me smile these days. It's encouraging me to drink water because when I drink it, I feel like a bad bitch. Okay. I hope you guys are okay. I have a little bit of vanilla room spray here. If you guys can see that. I'm gonna spray it because I always get a little antsy when I get on camera. 6 sprays is the number of balance, so we are asking for balance in the vibration in the room. Give it a moment. Okay, so I was going through my shit tonight and I was looking for inspiration for an episode. By the way, welcome back. This is an episode of Chill with Estelle, and the purpose of this series is basically, I'm going to say it every episode, I think, is to give you a positive and productive mental distraction when you are struggling, when you're having really negative thoughts, when you realize that your thoughts are repeating and they're not helping you. So maybe you need new thoughts, new words, new messages in your mind and in your world, and that's what I want to bring you. I don't want you to feel alone because you are not alone. I'm here with you, okay? In these episodes, usually we are going to journal, so you need a pencil and a paper. Most of the time also, I will bring you material to create this episode. It's going to be between 20 to 30 minutes. And today I went through my stuff because first I was kind of cleaning out my desk and I found a couple of things that I want to share with you guys that I think could make a full episode. And towards the end, at some point, we're going to do some journaling from this journal. It's so cool. Let me show you. These is questions, and then this is like notes about if you have like introspection. So I think we'll do a few pages here. Now, in some episodes, I will read to you directly from a book and we'll be learning together. In some episodes, it's going to be a combination of my insight and telling you where that insight came from. It's just a variation of ways and things to bring to you that you can take with you when you leave this episode. Feel better and help yourself feel free. Freedom is a big deal for me. I think I should get that tattooed. So, I read this book. I went to Walmart a few months ago and there's like a big bin there. I don't know if you guys go to Walmart. There's a big bin of books and usually like books are just on sale there. So let's say it was like $15, they drop it down to like $5.97. So this book was $5.97. So $6. And the title of the book is Didn't See That Coming. Okay. It is by Rachel Hollis and it says Putting Life Back Together When Our World Falls Apart. So there it is. If you want to order it, if when I talk about this today you're interested and impressed, then just go there and get it. I don't know what the original price for this is because again I got it in the bargain bin, but it says here like bargain bestseller, save up to 80%. So see. It also says $6.49, but 80% of $6.49 is not $5.97. So I don't know how much this book was. Another thing that I want you to know is that everything that I bring to you that I physically wrote, I don't completely remember. I think that is another part of my trauma where when I put things on paper, it's gone. My brain blocks it out. I don't remember shit until I actually pick it up. And 9 times out of 10, I don't pick up my own shit to read it again because I feel like I am relieving that energy, that pain, that trauma, and I'm good. If I've let it out, I've let it out. But I've also realized that these things that I put on paper can help you. They can help me. If I go through them again, if I read them to someone, if I hear them again, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe hearing them after I wrote them in a retrospective way, introspective way will allow me to learn something, grab something, and release whatever else is not needed, right? So these and what I was doing here is that I was highlighting. I finished this book, by the way. I was highlighting some things as I went through the book. Okay. By the way, I have this thing that I do if you want to, is that I do not always read books in the chronological order, especially if it's a self help book. I started doing this maybe 6 months ago, and it's just giving me so much peace. So I open the chapters page, and I just go through them, and it could be a number, it could be the name of the title of a chapter. I'm like, well, I like this one, and I go there, and that's how I read the books now. I don't read them chapter one, chapter two. No, because it just feels like another thing to do. But if I pick a chapter that I just enjoyed and I read it, there's something to pick out of there, and that's it. I've done my part that day, right? So I've read through this book, and then I wanted to go back and write down everything I highlighted, and then sort of kind of like meditate on what I think I got out of that and write it down. And that's what I did. I am at chapter 4 so far, and I stopped because depression is just, it is what it is. You start shit, and then something hits you again. You're like, survival, 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 survival. And a lot of your plans and projects and things that you're working on are on hold for days, months, years. So I will continue reading this book. I will continue getting the highlighted parts out because now I have a whole episode of it and I need more inspiration. So I'll read you the things that are from the book because I know that they are written in pen. The parts that are written in pen is straight from the book. And then this is my insight. Straight from the book, my insight. Okay? Let's go. I don't know what I wrote, so I'm gonna be just as blown away as you. Chapter 1, it's called Identify the New You. This is it's page 29 to 47, and this is the first quote. Your mind is still processing what happened to you as who you were, not as who you are now. Your mind is still processing what happened to you as who you were, not as who you are now. This is what I wrote. When horrible things happen, in parentheses traumatic, our bodies move in autopilot and our minds can freeze and stay stuck. It is impossible to solve a new problem with an old mentality. That's where we fail. We try to apply old knowledge to new experiences or problems. Okay. The next thing that I wrote is prologue. The prologue of this book, which is like the little first chapter where she tells us kind of what this book is about to be, is called I Call Bullshit. The quote that I wrote there is disappointment is essentially when someone or something has failed to live up to our hopes or expectations. This is what I wrote. Should we lower our expectations then? Our expectations too high? Do they come from our experiences or reflect what we expect of ourselves? Are you disappointed in them or in the idea of who you saw them as? That's deep, guys. Next quote says, you try to put a fresh coat over an old coat, but you didn't do anything to make sure that the new paint would stick. God damn, that's deep. Yo, let me tell you something. Let me show you the book again. Okay? I don't know how much it is on Amazon. Maybe I'll look it up for you guys real quick. But this is dope. Yo, these are hard hitting. You didn't do anything to make sure that the new paint would stick. You didn't do anything to make sure that the new beliefs, the new idea, any things that you have learned would stick. This is what I wrote. If the inside is rotten, the outside will spoil too. New beliefs will not stick unless you give up old ones. You cannot change in the same environment that broke you. God damn. This child got inside there. Suspended reality. In time of chaos, we are unable to foresee the future. We cannot think further than the day. Mm. This is a concept that she introduces called suspended reality. When we're going through something, whatever it is, whatever you're going, it's a crisis at work, in your life, you lost your job, you lost your sibling, your child, your parent, you are in a crisis, right? You are unable to foresee the future in that moment. Why? Because we are trying to survive. When you are in survival mode, imagine if you were in the jungle, right? Naked and Afraid. I know that's the show. Naked and Afraid, and you had to hide from animals, try to make sure you find some food until you could either find your way out of the forest or that help came. Would you be in that forest thinking, in 5 years, I'm gonna buy a house? No, you are surviving. So if some of us are not able to think about the future, plan the future, foresee the future, that might be a shining light there to tell you that, babe, you are in survival mode. And some of us have been in survival mode for so long that we do not remember what normal mode is. So we remain in survival mode. Okay. Next I have, we aren't stuck forever, but for some time we must be still. Wow. This is what I wrote. Sometimes life causes us to slow down or actually stop. In the most unwanted and unexpected of times, especially if unplanned, we feel stuck and stagnant. Yet we need to be still. We need to heal. We need to recover. We need to think. We need to recuperate. Still for now, not stuck for life. I wish I had a highlighter. That is so dope. Still for now, not stuck for life. Yo, I'm impressing myself. I'm so intelligent. That is definitely gonna be quoted somewhere soon. Still for now, not stuck for life. Wow. Next quote is, takes it often takes a life-changing crisis to remind us which parts of life are worth living. My notes here are, sometimes the worst pain, a loss of a loved one, for example, will be a scary reminder that love the life you want to live and live it fully. Mm. My dad just passed away, and it was a very scary reminder that my mom could pass away, right? Because those are my parents. If one of them is gone, then, you know, and it scared the fuck out of me. Not scared, but stressed the fuck out of me because ain't nobody really let their family go. Chapter 2, it's called Stop Questioning Your Suffering. I'm telling you, this book is good. She should sponsor me or something. The quote here is, losing a loved one unexpectedly is tough. And as we go through grief, we question things, God and ourselves. Because you are hyper focused on their absence. Here's what I wrote. You're focused on what's missing. That's how we start to look at life. The events they miss instead of those that they had with us. This is the way of thinking that gives us extended suffering. Wow. It's okay to miss them. It's not okay to lie down and die from grief. This is another quote from the book. Another quote from the book. Some of us go over all the details over and over to see what happened. We torture ourselves with the replay over and over because we believe that there's something that we miss. But what's the point if it has already passed? Why go over it over and over? this is what I wrote from it. We try to see it from many angles. All this reviewing only further causes depression. So about this, I want to say, I remember that in this book she talks about her brother, her older brother, deleting himself, and she was in the house with him. She was 14 years old. Excuse me. He was 14 years old and she was, I think, 9. And she remembered hearing the noise. He woke her up for school. Their parents had gone to work. He went to make breakfast himself. She came out of the room, found him in the kitchen, and all that image. I think that's what I remember the story now. My throat got dry. I have this sciatica pain, and a few days ago it started to hurt in the middle of my back, like electricity just radiating. I could not move, baby. I gotta refill on my medication, but those medications are so strong, just knocking me out for like 12 hours. So I think that one of the side effects is that my mouth is really dry. So it says here, read them the whole page. You see that in pink? Read them the whole page 51. And I'm gonna do it. This is page 51. Okay. Tough page in grief, I wrote in the corner. I bring this up because, okay, let me read it from the last sentence because the last sentence starts in the other page. I am able to mourn him and the incredible role that he played in my life, but I won't allow his absence to affect everything else. I bring this up because I'm positive there are people reading this too who are still grieving so heavily that the loss is causing them to lose again and again. Their grief over death is making them miss the life that they're still here. I can't tell you how to grieve. That is an incredibly personal process that nobody is in charge of but you. But I can tell you something with absolute certainty. The person that you lost, hold on now, would not want this for you. The person you lost would never, ever want you to suffer over their absence. If anything, they'd want you to experience the bittersweet memories of your time together. They'd want you to be happy. They'd want you to laugh again. They'd want you to live the fullest, richest life that you can. They never chose for you to be anchored to your death by your grief. If this is something that you're struggling with, then ask your heart what is true. Pretend that your loved one is standing with you now and ask them, what would you want for my life? I think I read this book when I had just lost my husband, and it really helped me to just release that chokehold where I was just like, I should have, but I didn't, I wasn't, and it was just like, imagine him here. And I said, babe, what would you want for my life? And I could hear him, I could feel him tell me, not you crying like this, not you not eating, not you not moving on, not you cursing life, not you giving up. No, this is not what I would want, mama. So pretend that your loved one is standing with you now and ask them what they want for your life. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to miss them. It's not okay for you to lie down and die too. Remember I wrote that here? I literally highlighted it. That's how you know a chicken lying to you, baby. I'm telling the truth. It's not okay for you to lie down and die too. You are still here. There's a reason for that. The greatest thing you can do to honor the memory of whom you lost is to continue to live the life that they cannot. That was page 51. I want you guys this. Okay. Let's keep going. Next quote. It's awful to go through a forced metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, let me break it down, means that you are changing. If you were forced to change, it's awful. And I haven't wrote on it yet, I just left it empty. Let's discuss it. It's awful to go through forced metamorphosis. When we get abused, for example, let's say you're a 15-year-old like I was, and you are an only girl, I am an only girl. I have 8 brothers, no, 7 brothers. My parents have 8 kids, sorry. I have 7 brothers and I'm the only girl. I only have one little brother, so everybody else is older than me. And you got YouTube doesn't like this word, so I'm gonna write it down. And you tell your family and they say that's what you deserve, it changes you. That's a change that happens that you didn't want to happen. First, you got raped. You got violated. You got took advantage of. You got belittled. In my case, not only was I raped, but I was strangled almost to death. For years, I had a bright, dark mark here. For years, I couldn't look at my neck. I didn't even wear necklaces. This is like 3 years ago. It was the 10th year anniversary of that day, and I got some balloons and I wrote myself a letter and I said, this person needs to be released. I'm no longer that little girl that was tied up to a bed and strangled almost to death and raped. I am now a strong woman and I could wear turtlenecks now, and wrote it out, burned it out, and let the balloon go. And cried and felt liberated and slowly started moving on completely from that being my identity. Oh, I'm the little girl who got violated. I'm the little girl who got violated. Nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. Nobody did nothing. It changes you from believing that you are everything, you're a princess, to you have no value to us. Because people can violate you and almost take your life. And we have no urgency. Nothing in us moves us to defend you, avenge you, or bring even justice. It changes you. When the people who were supposed to protect you violate you, it changes you. When the people who are supposed to guide you mislead you, it changes you. When the people who were supposed to be there for you based on blood, commitment, time known together, choose to abandon you, it changes you. That's a metamorphosis that is forced on you, and that's awful. In the midst of chaos, focus on the day that you're in. That's deep. If you're actually currently struggling and you're in survival mode, please focus on today. Just one day at a time, okay? Page 57, read paragraph in full. Alright, let's get there. Let's get there, get there, get there, get there. There's this, okay. Life doesn't work that way. What happened to you didn't happen to you because of something that you did wrong. It wasn't something that you deserved. It wasn't something that you failed at. It wasn't fair because as much as I hate this truth, life is not fair. There's no rationale for why it happened the way it did, even though your mind will try and try to convince you of the opposite in a million different ways. You will never find the answer to why, so stop looking. Focus on instead on what might be gained from all your pain. Well, damn. Let me show it to you. Screenshot it and read it to yourself again. That's the paragraph, this one. Damn. Sometimes we get excited about a new I don't know, baby. It says page 62, so let's go see if I can find it. New person, maybe? A new project. Oh, Lord. Sometimes we get excited about a new project and wish that our loved one will match that energy. But we also know that someone cannot force us to understand their excitement about something. So we need to be fair in general and with feeling offended. Wow, that's deep. Let me break that down, right? Sometimes, let's say your child comes to you, Mom, I got in the new level. I was playing the game and I got to level 7 and oh my god, I remember, and you're like, bitch, what the fuck? Nigga, I don't give a fuck about this shit. You cannot understand that level of excitement. That child cannot force you into being excited, right? Put yourself in that situation. You're bringing an idea that you understand. It has value to you. You and only you got the vision. You and only you understand the excitement. And you get offended because your partner, your loved one, your sibling, your parent doesn't have the same excitement. Baby, how? How? It's your vision. Only you see it the way you see it. So let's release that feeling of offended, right? When people don't get it. Just go ahead and do it. When it comes to material, oh, this is what you wear. Wow. So we have one more chapter. Chapter 3, let go of guilt. Hatred cannot heal you. I beg you to remember that. Hatred never heals, and only love can do that. Walk away from people who weaponize your guilt, pain, or past against you. Be careful that your guilt doesn't become their revenge. To be willing to be a villain in someone else's story if it means being a hero in your own story. You will continue to grow over time. And as you grow over time, you will become a different version of yourself each time. We have about 3 minutes left. I would like us to journal. Let's try and do 2 pages together. Okay? I'll read you the question and we will read it together. First, I'll show you. If you want to do a screenshot, go ahead and do that. Question number 1. Have you experienced heartbreak? Bitch, if you're an adult, duh. Describe. Okay. Question number 2. I got burned today cooking chicken, guys. If yes, what did you learn about yourself from the relationship? If you've had heartbreak, what did you learn from yourself from the relationship? About yourself from the relationship. I'll put the question on the screen, okay? What did you learn about yourself from the relationship? Can you guys see how relaxing it is? Do you see the image? It shifted. I recorded that image. I was in my car at lunch and it was raining and I used my phone to record it from the rooftop of my car. It's so dope to see your work. Last question. If yes, what did it teach you about life and relationships? Okay. I'm going to read you my last answer and we're going to close for today. If yes, what did it teach you about life and relationships? Hold on, I want to put a date on this, okay? I learned that you can be the best person for someone, but if they are not worth you and ready, they will sabotage it. This is called A Journal of Discovery by Robin Leitchie. The Making of a Strong Woman. I bought this for $5 on Facebook Market, so again, I don't know how much it costs. This was an episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If this is your first time, please come back. Okay? I have some more stuff here. This is going to be mostly like journaling and introspection that I just wrote on November 21. Okay? And I want to share with the people. So come back, okay? Click the subscribe button, keep the like button, and I love you for watching. Bye, babies.